While I work on this drawing representing the death of Patroclus in Homer's Iliad, I'm going to be comparing and contrasting the cultures of India and ancient Greece, primarily in their literature. It might be hard to believe, but both of these cultures have a lot in common. For instance, they believe in several gods or deities, thus they are polytheistic. These gods tie to many of their literatures. For example, Valmiki was convinced to write the Ramayana after the god Narada convinced him to do so when the former asked who the strongest person was. While in Homer's Odyssey, Poseidon becomes furious after Odysseus blinds his son, Polyphemus the Cyclops, therefore making his journey back to Ithaca much harder due to Poseidon's influence. Also, two of these cultures' epics actually revolve around a man or men fighting for a woman. The women in question being Sita in the Ramayana after she gets kidnapped by Ravana and a troop of monkeys, and Helen of Troy in the Iliad after being abducted by Paris, Prince of Troy. As well as lengthy epics, these cultures had a lot of short stories in them too, such as the Indian Panchatantra and Aesop's Fables. These short stories typically have animals as characters and end with a moral or life lesson. They are often led to children because of their conciseness in ending morals. Two of the popular fables are The Tortoise and the Hare, whose moral is slow and steady wins the race, and The Lion and the Mouse, whose moral is an act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. And similar stories can be found in the Panchatantra too, such as the Lion's Reflection, whose moral is to not boast about your ego. While it might be a little unnerving to think about, these cultures are surprisingly similar when it comes to their literature, as I was definitely surprised when I first heard about it. It just comes to show that things may not seem alike, can contain more underneath the surface, and that includes the cultures of civilizations.